na na hey ya na hi ya na hey ya na ya no na hey ya no
Hi everyone, my name is Laura and I'm Bachelor in Cinema Studies. Today I decided to come here and talk about a movie that I truly like, Frozen 2, focusing on Anna's character development in the second movie. I'll talk about the original song, Some Things Never Change, and the next right thing. First, I wanted to apologize because I'm recording on the headset so it doesn't sound great, and I'm also not fluent in English, but I wanted to practice and my sister encouraged me. But you can also watch it with subtitles if it's sounding too bad. I tried using a robot instead of my own voice, but it sounded really weird, so for now I'll keep it like this. I wanted to talk about this since I first watched the movie, so I thought the quarantine would be a good opportunity to try. For those who didn't watch it, Frozen 2 is the sequel of Frozen that was released in the end of 2019 in the United States and the start of 2020 in Brazil. The movie tells the story of the two sisters, Elsa and Anna, trying to save Arendelle and discover the source of Elsa's powers. Here goes a warning, this video is full of spoilers, so if you still didn't watch the movie, it's for your own risk to go on. Even before I watched the movie, I was wondering why Into the Unknown ended up being the song chosen for representing the movie on the Oscars.
I can hear you, but I won't.
When it has many other amazing songs like All Is Found,
Where the north wind meets the sea.
Show Yourself,
You have secrets too, but you don't have to hide. Show yourself.
and The Next Right Thing.
I've seen dark before, but not like this.
I'd even say that although Into the Unknown is brilliantly interpreted by Dina and plays the part of the call for adventure on the hero's journey, just like other songs as part of your world, Show Yourself has the same vibe and meaning that Let It Go, showing Elsa finally free, finding her true nature. I didn't forget Lost in the Woods, of course, who many people may thought it was odd, but to me was perfect, bringing a 90s MTV video clip vibe, but was accentuated in the music video when it's covered by nothing less than Weezer, and has amazing references even to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. But back to the topic in hand, I'm here to talk about Anna's songs after all. Although in the verse, Kristoff, Elsa, and Olaf made an appearance, the song is basically about Anna's feelings of getting old, introducing the movie to the viewers and bringing back the atmosphere and characters we saw in the first one. Anna is still the happy and impulsive girl we saw in the first movie. After quite some years, Elsa is still trying to adapt to the reality of actually being the queen, and Kristoff is trying to propose but failing miserably. But I'm pretty sure it's not just a coincidence.
But I know what the big question is. Did Rapunzel and I ever get married? Well, I'm pleased to tell you that after years and years of asking and asking and asking, I finally said yes.
Eugene.
All right. I asked her.
The song, that is revigorating, talks about the feeling of not wanting things to change. Who never wanted a moment to last forever, right? The song, just like All Is Found, will tell us the story of the movie. Even when the movie ends up showing that sometimes in life there's changes we didn't expect.
I want to talk to you about life and growing up, and how sometimes there are changes you don't expect.
The funny thing is that Anna starts the song singing about how she doesn't want things to change, but everything will change not only during the movie but in the song as well. She says that, having Kristoff, Olaf, Elsa, and Sven by her side, she's capable of doing anything. But we all know that she will lose all of them at some point and need to learn how to deal with it. Some things never change, but they're building a house in the middle of a street. Some things stay the same, but a big old tree is put down in a second. Some things are as true as an old stone wall that will never fall, but it falls when Olaf steps on it and will fall in the end with Anna's actions.
Destroy the dam! Come on! Throw your boulders!
And then she sings that some things never change, like how she is holding tight to Olaf. So,
A few moments later.
I love you.
then we get to Kristoff's part of the song, and he starts singing about his wish to propose to Anna. The funniest part is seeing how the citizens of Arendelle actually consider the possibility of him proposing to Sven, and we realize that he's actually that bad in planning it. He then says that he's better with reindeers than people, what we always knew, and we finally got to Elsa's part. Despite her expression showing her concerns, because deep down she knows she's not where she should be, she goes out to enjoy the precious day. That's actually the last one she'll have like that. What I'll say now may seem like bullshit, sorry for that. But then we see an old couple inside a house that looks really similar to Kristoff and Anna, followed directly by Olaf releasing a fish back to the sea and waving happily.
Coincidence? I think not!
Then they both promise to the people that Arendelle's flag will always fly, but that wasn't supposed to happen when Anna decided to destroy the dam. Now, just a random curiosity. Do pay attention to the amount of black characters in the city in Frozen 2 in comparison to the last short movie Frozen Olaf's Adventure. Quite nice changing, right? I like how they're giving attention to details that for many may not matter, but to me are quite important. Wasn't we all curious about the object asked by the little girl when Elsa is giving the children's ice gifts and then they're singing that the future remains unknown? I searched it and I discovered that it's actually a maritime navigator called sextant that was made for measuring distances based on the position of the stars. In the end, Anna finishes the song saying that she is holding tight to each one of the characters, while she lets every single one of them go and then stays behind. Take a look and realize that in this scene, it's not Arendelle's flag that's hanging, but a red and white one with a leaf instead of the usual flower, probably symbolizing the start of the autumn season. The difference between this song and the next writing are remarkable, but the most important thing is the one between Anna's character in the beginning and in the end of the movie. Some Things Never Change introduces the Anna we're all used to, and it's quite similar to For the First Time in Forever in the first movie, while the next writing is dark and sad and shows her struggle trying to assimilate the fact that this time she actually lost Elsa for real. You can see that even the colors between this scene and the second act of Do You Wanna Build a Snowman match nicely. I think this song is so touching because it shows how Anna is incredibly brave despite her joyful and sometimes even childish appearance. It's not as if we didn't knew she was strong.
Anna? No, I have my powers to protect me. You don't.
Excuse me, I climbed the North Mountain, survived a frozen heart, and saved you from my ex-boyfriend, and I did it all without powers. So, I'm coming.
Me too. I'll drive.
But during the movie, we tend to see her as immature when she's compared to Elsa. That's more centered and calm, and especially because that's what we're supposed to think of every youngest sister or brother, be it in real life or in media in general. It's important to remember that not only she had to deal with the death of both of her parents completely alone when she was only 15 years old, but after many events she's again forced to deal with death, this time of her sister and one of her best friends. We know that she basically gave her life in the first movie to not see this happening. In Some Things Never Change, we see that the reason that she did worried about the future is because she had them all by her side. But what now? How many people are brave enough to not only get up after losing everything, but to go straight to battle not with rage and anger, but because she knows she needs to do the right thing? When the song starts, we see a reference to her parents' death that is still fresh on her mind.
I've seen dark before, but not like this.
Followed by a mention of the previous song.
The life I knew is over. The lights are out.
She then sings about having followed Elsa her whole life as her main example, just to be pushed away again.
I follow you around. I always have. But you've gone to a place I cannot find.
And says that she's gone to a place she cannot go, what refers probably not only to Atohalan but to death itself, that's the real unknown place. She then sings about her grief and the feeling that nothing will ever be good again, what was touching to me and I'm pretty sure to everyone who ever lost someone really close we loved. But can we please remember Grandpapa Abby's advice?
No future?
When one can see no future, all one can do is the next right thing.
Everyone knows that everything will be okay and that our loved ones wouldn't want us to be sad, but it's easier said than done. We try to focus on other things and find the strength to do the right thing, but it's not always possible. But despite all her pain and the weight of the responsibility she now has being the only member left in the family, she gets up. She gets up not only knowing that she could make a difference and save everyone's life, but especially believing that without doing this, Elsa would have died in vain and no one, being in Atohalan or Arendelle, would have any future in the next day. Not because it's what everyone expects from her and not for herself, but knowing that she could bring happiness to others despite having paid a price she didn't want it to. I dare say that this song is one of the best grief representations I've saw in movies in general, showing her get back up on her feet in pain and suffer, knowing that nothing will ever be as it was before. You take one step at a time and ignore the pain, listening to the voice deep down that tells you that eventually the pain will be replaced by your happy memories with your loved one. I've seen many characters overcoming grief in many different ways, but it's mostly represented first with anger and revolt. But I miss that crude representation of loneliness and especially of apathy. She gets up and defies not only her whole family's legacy, but the trolls no one ever rebelled against. And in this moment, I see her as one of the strongest princesses of all, because not only she had nothing left to lose, but she gave up her future and risked her life to pay the price that's asked to save everyone else.
And with the dawn, what comes then? When it's clear that everything will never be the same again, then I'll make the choice to hear that voice and do the next right thing.
And to me, putting other people's lives above your own is one of the greatest demonstrations of love and altruism that can exist. I wish in those hard times we're facing, people could put others above themselves at least once. All we need is to make one step at a time and get up every day thinking how can we make other people's lives better.
Anna, are you okay? What were you doing? You could have been killed. You can't just follow me into fire.
You don't want me to follow you into fire, then don't run into fire.
You're not being careful, Elsa.
Of course, I couldn't forget to talk about Kristoff. That's one of the best princesses Disney has ever made, with Eugene, of course. He has a real important support role in this movie. As much as Anna loves him, there is no way to compare romantic and fraternal love. Saying she was alone when she lost her parents and her sister is true, because they won't and can never be replaced. But when we face something like that, to have someone by our side that will not criticize us or our attitudes, but say that he will stay by our side is the most helpful thing. He didn't criticize her for leaving him in the forest, because he knew how important this whole thing was to her, and didn't even accept the apologies because he believed she was doing the right thing and respected her as a person who can make her own decisions, even if in those decisions he wasn't included.
I'm sorry I left you behind. I was just so desperate to protect her.
I know, it's okay. My love is not fragile. Wow.
Love is never selfish and jealousy is not love, even when media forces us to believe that it is. I could spend a whole day talking about how Kristoff and Eugene are the princesses Disney ever made. Times change and so do our values, but this will have to stay for other video perhaps. I'll just let you all with another scene of Anna being a great character and an amazing sister again.
You said you believed in me, that this is what I was born to do. And I don't want to stop you from that. I don't want to stop you from being whatever you need to be. I just don't want you dying, trying to be everything for everyone else, too. Don't do this alone. Let me help you, please. I can't lose you, Elsa. I can't lose you either, Anna. Come on.
But that wasn't supposed to happen when Anna decided to destroy when Anna decided to destroy the dam. I guess modern problems require modern solutions.
Sven, don't you look nice? Oh my goodness, Olaf!
Charmed, I'm sure.
Charming.
Your Majesty.
Kristoff! Oh, did you boys get all dressed up for me?
It was Sven's idea.
1 hour. You get this for 1 hour.
That's okay. I prefer you in leather anyway.
I'm shocked you can last an hour. That was brutal. The things we do for love.